Hey, 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 it's Krystal The Goddess, and I'm the creator and owner of the House of Divinity. And welcome to the House of Divinity Podcast, a place where we have divine discussions, all about raising your vibration, activating and aligning your chakras, and really just tapping in and being your most divine goddess self. Now, let's get to the episode. I'm Krystal The Goddess. I am a traveling goddess, world traveler. I'm also an entrepreneur, a holistic healer, and a whole goddess out here, okay? And so what I want to do today, like I mentioned before, I am an entrepreneur, and I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind as a goddess and an entrepreneur, okay? So I'm thinking like, entrepreneurship versus the relationship, okay? Whew. Here's the thing. I have been so occupied lately. You know, I do this thing now called the execution list. And it's like, this is my list of things that I want to execute for the day, for the week, whatever the time frame, right? And I was just like, I had a conversation with Honey recently because I was like, I completely understand how entrepreneurs get cheated on. I completely understand how entrepreneurs get like dumped, divorced. And it's not really a laughing matter, but it's very serious because, it's almost not to say scary, but I was like, I get it because I spend so much time dedicated to building my business, building my brand, House of Divinity, holistic healing empire. Okay, honey, yes, I'll get into it. But no, seriously though, like I've been so busy for the past 2 months, going on 3 months now. Like I work a 9 to 5, so I'm at work and I got promoted this year. So within the last 12 months, so it's like, my typical job in education is not what it used to be, right? Education is never a clock out type of job, but when you move up, there's definitely like higher expectations for you. There's more workload, more, outside of work hours. And I've been feeling it. Not necessarily like where I'm bringing work home with me all the time, but like I stay late sometimes, right? Because I don't want to bring work home with me. So I'm staying late. I'm closing up, our school site, doing different things like that pertaining to the job. And, my mind is occupied. I'm planning things, prepping things, but I do so much while I'm in work mode, like my 9 to 5 work mode, that when I get home, I realized for myself, again, about 3 months ago, that yes, Krystal, you can come home and go to sleep and be in bed by 8:30. Mind you, my routine before was already like, get home from work, I wouldn't even go to my bedroom. I would drop my stuff down, in the living room, go immediately to the kitchen, work on dinner, help my son with his homework, make sure he's in the bed, make sure he's in the shower, make sure he's fed, make sure he's in the bed, make sure we have some time to play, at least, once a week was my thing. We would have our family game night or whatever. But it was like I was doing all of those things. And then once he's in the bed, also trying to make sure we read, right, every night because he's still elementary school. So it's like you do all those things, get him in the bed, and then I would go shower. Then I would get myself ready for bed, right? Like I'm pooped. I'm exhausted after all of that. And I realized about 3 months ago, I was like, if you are trying to grow your business, House of Divinity, and House of Divinity, but if you are trying to grow your business and really grow your brand, if you are trying to holistically heal this world, as you so say, this plan that you have right now is not going to work, right? So I had this conversation with myself. I had this epiphany where I was like, you're going to have to sacrifice something. You're going to have to sacrifice some sleep. You are going to have to sacrifice some time because the time has to come from somewhere. You only get this much time in a day. This much of it is at work at your 9 to 5. This much of it is with your son, with your mom. So it was like educator hat, mommy hat, and then the space for Krystal to be a woman, a goddess herself I was tired, okay? I was really tired. But I realized I was like, this is not going to move the needle in my entrepreneurship, my entrepreneurial hat. It's not going to move the needle on my entrepreneurial journey. And once I realized that, I switched things up, right? Where are all my crystal lovers? Whether that's you or someone you love, I have the perfect gift. Shop our manifestation crystal tumblers. We have the largest selection of crystals to choose from. So no matter what you're trying to manifest, whether it's love, joy, peace, protection, we have the crystal perfect for you. Whether it's your zodiac sign, I know how much we love our zodiac signs. Shop the crystal tumbler that matches your zodiac sign and get the healing that you deserve. Healing in 1, 2, 3 easy steps. Fill your tumbler with water, allow it to sit 20 to 30 minutes so that the water can absorb the vibration of the crystals. And then after that 20, 30 minutes is over, you drink the water, step 3, and the water inside our bodies matches the vibration of the water that we are drinking, and it will internally raise your vibration and activate your chakras and activate the cells within your body. So shop the largest selection now, perfect for fruit-infused drinks, teas, and of course water. Shop now and get this healing delivered right to your doorstep. See you in checkout. So I mapped out every single day. Mind you, I'm just like, there's so many things, right? Mind you, my son just started Taekwondo. So that's another commitment. So I mapped out every day of the week. What is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I even have Saturday and Sunday. But I was like, what does it look like? What are the things that need to happen on each and every day? So I have my morning routine / ritual, my 9 to 5, then my evening ritual or my evening routine. Yes, it's a routine. What are we doing? What are the things that we are going to commit to? And so I was like, okay, 1 hour, it was like an hour to an hour and a half minimum was like work on your business every evening. That was the goal. My morning was like my crystal time, wake up at 4 a.m. so that I could have time to meditate, do my affirmations, share my gratitude, yoga or workout, and then like work on, like get my ideas for my business for the day, like set some intentions for the day. 4 to 5, that was the plan. Have time to make breakfast, get out of here at a decent time, get to work at a decent time. It was planned. My commuting hours, my commuting minutes, all of that was planned. And then my son started Taekwondo. And then I joined the morning meetup with David Sheehan's, his morning entrepreneurial group. I'll put that link in the chat. You can check it out. Amazing. But again, those were things that got put into the mix that took some of my time. And I was like, okay, that old routine, we're going to have to revamp it a little bit, right? We're going to have to make some adjustments. So that's what I did, or that's what I'm still in the process of doing. And I'm realizing I'm getting further away, but I wanted to like lay that out and make it really clear of like, this is the routine. Mom's was tired, right? So but it was within the last 3 months that I decided to get intentional. My word of the year is intentionality, like intentional with my time. I was like, I'm not going to spend time, energy, or money on things I do not want to do, on things that do not move the needle for me. It was very like, I could see it being perceived as selfish. I understand that, because I was like, I'm not going to go out to any birthday functions. I don't want to do and I love to travel, which is why we're here in the first place. Which is why we have our travel diaries. Like, I don't want to spend money on other stuff. I'm not trying to go out to a meal that's going to be over $100 when that's half a round trip ticket somewhere. And I travel with my son, so I need 2 tickets. And I'll be trying to be there a couple of days, so I need to pay for these rooms, And this is while I'm building up my points, right? You got to put some money out there to build these points. And so, I was just like, it was time to get very intentional, right? Which is why I mapped out everything. But I realized recently, because it was starting to catch up with me, I'm 3 months in, and I'm like, you know what? My weekends, I'm super dedicated, super focused. I'm like, what am I doing? What's the plan? What are the intentions for the day? What are we working on? And I'm in this like oiled groove, like I'm producing. There's so much productivity happening, and goddess got tired, okay? So I was like, I stopped doing my workouts and my yoga for like the past 2 weeks. The 2 weeks ago, I used that time to meditate, because since I joined my morning meetup, that call was at 5 a.m., it was throwing things off. And I was staying up till 11 after 10 o'clock up to like 11:30, sometimes midnight, y'all. And I was so tired. I was like, it was weighing me down, right? So last week I took a break. I was like, I'm not working out. I was sleeping until like 4:30. Then I would get up and do my thing. I didn't join my call in real time, but like on my drive home, I would play the recording. So fortunately, there are replays that are added to like our app. So I was like making up for the time that way. But I literally had a conversation with Honey this week, right? Which takes us back to relationship versus entrepreneurship. Because one thing for sure, one thing for certain, my relationship with my son is like number one priority. I don't care. I don't care what you say about, the spouse comes first, your spouse comes first. I don't care. My son comes first. He's always my number one, right? And I was like, okay, I got to have time for him. I realized like he was slipping in school, not getting things done, working, his organizational skills were lacking and he was like missing assignments. And I was like, this isn't going to work, right? We weren't doing our reading. I was like, this isn't going to work. So the first thing I had to do was check my relationship with him. We weren't doing our family game nights. Like so many things were like falling off, right? Because I was just trying to make time and I was hyper focused. I was doing a lot of stuff. Like I was in an accountability group that joined live every week. So that was eating up time. And then taking him to Taekwondo was eating up time. My time was, I feel like it was just getting snatched away from me. And not to say I didn't have control, because obviously I planned every aspect of my life. I'm in full control of my life. But it was just like, I had to really stop and realize like, wow, like, what are we doing? And yes, I'm moving the needle in my business, but now I'm not having time for my son, right? And that was the first red flag. It was like, no, we haven't done any reading in about a week. And here's the problem. Here's the thing with me. I spend all this time writing everything out, rituals, daily rituals every single day. And then I don't look at what I wrote down. And I've told people in the past, I'm like, when I start a new routine, I have to write it down so I can reference it every single day. Every morning, what is my morning routine? And I go through it like a checklist. I don't check it off because it's all on one sheet. But what's first thing? Okay, bet, let me go do it. Come back to my list. What's the second thing? Okay, bet, let me go do it. And that's how I have to stick to my new routines. It takes 21 days to build a new habit. And so I'm like, I need at least 21 days to go through this ritual using the paper so that then I can remember it, right? If you ask me right now, y'all, I wouldn't even know. I don't even know, like, I wouldn't even know the day to day. I don't know what my Monday routine looks like. I don't know what my Tuesday routine looks like. Especially, I have to go back and fix it because now my son, he just leveled up and now he's a yellow belt, right? Because I told you he just started. He was a white belt. Now he's a yellow belt. And now I have to redo my routine because he's going to be going to practice on different days. So now I have to redo like so many adjustments. Talk about being flexible. It'll take you it'll take you far because it's only been 3 months and now I have to revamp it for as long as I don't know how long I'll need to revamp it for until he levels up, I guess. But so that was the first relationship, right? Relationship 0, entrepreneurship 1. Entrepreneurship was winning against my relationship with my son. So now I have to look at my ritual, make amendments, right? Make adjustments. Last week, I did great. Relationship 1-1. Entrepreneurship already had their point, but relationship with son got a point because we had game night twice a week. Did we do some reading? We may not have did reading, but I did check in on homework. I checked in with teachers, like, boom, I was doing great. Now, going back to the top of the conversation with me having this epiphany and understanding how entrepreneurs end up getting cheated on and how entrepreneurs end up getting divorced because, mind you, if all this is happening to my son, and you were probably wondering, like, you got a honey? Where was your honey in the midst of all of that, all of that routine and all of that entrepreneur focus, and he was here. And I'm so fortunate, so very fortunate that my honey in particular is just super supportive. I'm the one that, like, I'm busy and I'm like, babe, come here. Like, I want you here. And he's like, no, like, I'm letting you do your thing. He's like, I know you're working. Like, if he even thinks or assumes I'm working, he'll leave me alone. Fortunately, again, we have I'm able to have separate space, right? So he'll go like to our media room and he be saying, I'm giving you space. I honestly think he just like to do his own thing as well because he works a lot too. So I think, he enjoys his time and I enjoy my time. And so when we have our time separately, I'm able to focus. But then sometimes I'm like, I miss you. I get needy. I'm very needy. Am I the only, I can't be the only needy person listening to this. But I'll be like, I want to be up under you. So I'll, go watch TV, watch movies with him, even though I don't care to watch movies with him. That came out wrong. Not that I don't care to watch movies with him. I don't care to watch movies. Okay? I don't care to sit there all day and watch a movie. I feel like that's such a waste of my time. But I do it for him because that's quality time for him. He's a movie buff. He loves movies, right? But I realized I was like, my weekends, Saturday, I'll wake up, I already have my plan on what I'm doing. What am I doing for my business? Why? Because all week I'm spending all of my time on my 9 to 5. So when the weekend comes, I'm like, oh, I get to focus just on my business, uninterrupted. And with House of Divinity, I also do sound baths. So twice a month, I'm doing these sound baths, and that takes up, it's a small portion of my time, but I prepare for the sound bath. I leave the house. I end up running my mouth to the guests and the goddesses that are there. And so like the sound bath is a production in itself, a half-day production. So like that takes up half of my weekend. If I look at my weekend in 4 parts, you have like first half, second half, Saturday, first half, second half of Sunday. And so it was really, the sound baths take a lot of my time as well. And so especially on the weekends when I don't have my sound bath, I'm like, focus. I feel like I just have all this time in the world to like move the needle, right? Be productive. Like, what is it that you've been putting off? What is it that you needed to do this week that you did not get to? Like, let's do it. Like, and I'd be so excited and just so happy to just have that time. And then I realized like all this work and execution and productivity in my business has me tired. And I want to acknowledge that I low-key feel like I might be getting emotional, but we're going to work through it, right? We're going to keep going. But I realized like at the end of the night, like I was tired. And honey would like come to bed and I'm like, I'm tired. Like I don't have the energy. And this is what I'm telling myself, right? I'm like, I don't have the energy to want to do anything. I'm not in the mood, And I really realized, like, I noticed it was happening like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. 2 or 3, yeah, like almost a month. And I was like, I don't, it's like I could think about things during the day, but then like at night, I'm like, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do anything. So even if like mentally it's like, ooh, I think I want to do something. I think I want to, And I was like, but I just did not feel, I was like, oh. Not that it was a chore, but I just was tired and I didn't feel like going through the motions. I didn't feel like going through any of the motions. And I felt bad. I really did. I felt really bad. And I had a conversation with honey this week, which I mentioned to y'all. And I was like, I told him, I was like, I understand why entrepreneurs end up divorced. I understand why entrepreneurs end up getting cheated on. Because number one, you're so focused on the work that sometimes you're not even paying enough attention to what's going on around you, right? And what's going on around you, whereas like entails not paying attention to what's going on in the lives of your loved ones, not paying attention to how they're feeling, right? Like they may be giving you signs that like they're not happy, that they want attention. Like I'm realizing things with my son right now, and I'm like, is this a call for attention? Like, am I not giving you enough attention? Is that what's happening? And so I just started to, like, these are some of the things that you realize that you don't realize that you're missing because you're hyper focused on your business, right? And even for me, I'm like, I'm doing all this for us, right? And we've never had an argument or anything like that. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm doing this for us. I work a job where I'm salary. Our bills are fluctuating, right? It's been cold, so the gas is through the roof. And I'm like, our job is not going to give us a bonus. So I'm working so that, number one, we have the extra play money. I have travel funds so we could keep the travel diaries booming, right? But number two, eventually I want to be a full-time entrepreneur. So I need entrepreneurship. My goal is $10,000 a month. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. And that's honestly more than I make at my job. But I've done like a layout of like what my dream life looks like. And the minimum is $10,000 a month. That's with my private chef. That's with my housekeeper. That's with like those type of things, right? The things I don't have now that I want, that are in my vortex, right? That I'm working on bringing into fruition. So that's my minimum. To really go above and beyond on my dream life, it's $30,000 a month. But it's like, I know what my goal is. My vision is very clear. And so I get tunnel vision in that, right? And so I was just thinking, and I don't want to lose my thought because I'm trying to catch it. I feel it. And I'm trying to catch it because I feel it slipping away. And I'm trying to catch it, but I'm just like, I'm having the conversation with him, and I'm telling him, oh, like, I understand how this could happen. And before I could even get into any details, I just went into details for y'all of like the why, like why I can see it happening, right? But before I could get into details with Honey, he was like, babe, I'm not going anywhere. And of course, the Scorpio in me, one of the voices was like, because one of them don't trust nobody. But he was like, babe, I'm not going anywhere. And I was like, yeah, you say that. Like, yeah, I hear you. And again, this is not an argument. We're just having a regular conversation. And he's like, babe, I understand what you're doing. And again, like I told y'all, my honey, very supportive. So I'm not even shocked or surprised or caught off guard by his response. It was more so like just for myself where I was like, had my honey, my man, because I was going to say my man, but had my man not been, or yeah, had he not be or been, had he is not, I don't know how to say the sentence, but if it weren't for my man being so secure within himself, and it may be because he's older too, so like the shenanigans and like he actually doesn't really care for somebody really needy anyway. Like, and like I said, he likes having his alone time. He likes having his time to do the things that he likes to do. He doesn't like to compromise what he enjoys for other people. Like, he does it a lot more now, but that's not his zhuzh, right? It's not what he wants to do. He's not going to choose to do that. Whereas me, I'm like, I'm team compromise all day. But that's a woman thing. We can talk about that another day, about women and our issues. No, I'm just kidding. Not kidding. Anyways, but if it weren't for him being so secure, like, I could, like, a weak man and a needy man, he would need that attention. And I'm not calling no man weak. I ain't calling them needy. If they cheated on their spouse, and this could go vice versa, right? Some women and men cheat because they're not getting enough attention. Fortunately, my man is supportive, right? And he understands that I'm working. And he understands the vision, and he knows what I'm trying to do for us as a unit, right? And then I was like, even when it comes to getting divorced, like some people, they need that. Like they feel neglected. And my honey has not expressed that to me, fortunately. And best believe I'll bring it up. I'll be like, babe, like I bring it up. Just like I did in that moment, like, I understand why men leave and divorce. And he's like, babe, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, if you say so. But so for this relationship versus entrepreneurship, relationship 2, entrepreneurship 1, and relationship with honey gives me my second point only because of who I decided to be in a relationship with, right? Because like I said, if it weren't for the fact that he this wouldn't work. It would be a problem. It would be a huge problem. Because I'm pretty sure, and I haven't read this anywhere. My take and my perspective, I would say things that cause relationships. Number one is money. Number two has to be time. Because people feeling neglected is going to kill the relationship every single time. Every time. And like I said, I'm pretty sure my son was feeling some of that neglect for a while. Like, because our family game days weren't happening. I was forgetting to read with him. I was forgetting to check his homework. And the entrepreneurship got a point. But again, my son is super he's a child, right? And they still crave that attention and they want you around. And so he was like, Mom, let's play a game tonight. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And then I had to tell myself, like, you haven't played games in a while. And my son's the type to tell you, he's a Taurus. He'll be like, you said we're going to play every week and we haven't played in a long time. Like, he'll call you out. He don't care. Excuse me. But anyways, I just say all that to say, like, pay attention. If there's any entrepreneurs listening, if there's any entrepreneurs watching, let me know in the chat if you're an entrepreneur. Also, drop what you do because I'll be trying to support, okay? One thing about Krystal, I'm here for the women's empowerment. I'm here for the Black empowerment, okay? People of color empowerment, but definitely my women, my goddesses, definitely my chocolate goddesses. And I just like to support, especially those who support me. So if you're an entrepreneur, drop it in the chat. I would love to connect. I would love to follow. I would love to support your brand as well. And then, entrepreneurs, let me know. Like, is this something that you've experienced? Do you feel like have you lost a relationship due to entrepreneurship? It makes me think about that whole thing with B. Simone, right? When she was like, I can't date nobody 9 to 5. If I could count how many times that has replayed in my head where I was like, I get what she's saying. I get it now. Because like I said, I be work. Rihanna made that for me. Like, I'm her. And I was like, why Rihanna make a whole song about working? Anyway, I work, right? Like, I'm working on my business. And so I was like, while I'm doing that, sometimes I have to check myself because I'm like, I don't want to see you just enjoying your life. Just leisurely living. And especially when I see like, dang, there's stuff around the house. We don't have our housekeeper yet. You were leisurely living instead of helping me with house chores. And like, oh, are you waiting for me to do it? Right? And so it was like, that's another topic. But with the B. Simone thing, I was like, for me, I understood it from that perspective because I was like, I see why, like, if I'm working on my entrepreneur stuff and you're just clocking in and clocking out, you don't understand. Because when you're clocked out of work. Entrepreneurship, you don't clock out of that. It's constantly on your mind. I have thoughts all the time and I'm like, ooh, that's content. Ooh, I want to share that. Ooh, that's a topic I can discuss, I can elaborate on. And even Krystal The Goddess brand, like, this is low-key another leg of my entrepreneurship because I don't know. It's not like a straightforward business. I'm not intentionally trying to make money from this at the moment, but it's a brand and it's something that I'm committed to and I'm passionate about. And again, like, I'm putting forth this energy and this time, and you don't always want to. It's like when you let somebody stay at your house. I wouldn't, but when people let people stay at their house that don't have a job, right, and they're sleeping on the couch all day, and you're like, dude, I've been at work. You don't want to come home and see this person still sleeping on your couch doing nothing, right? It's the same thing of like, I'm putting in all this work and you're just sitting here. So like with B. Simone, she's like, I want someone that's going to match my energy, match my hustle, match my ambition. I was like, I get it, sis. And everybody not going to get it. And, I understood her. But so I say all that to say, any entrepreneurs that are experiencing this, where you feel like you are in a battle between your relationships and your entrepreneurial journey, let me know in the chat. Like, let me know I'm not alone. If you see someone else in the chat that puts a comment and it resonates with you or you just agree, let them know you agree. Because again, as I've always said, like, I create and I show up for community, right? I show up because I believe in shared experiences. I believe in learning from people's experiences. So maybe even if you are someone who is venturing into entrepreneurship or considering entrepreneurship, and this is something you may want to be aware of, right? Like, because like I said, entrepreneurs, we're so tunnel vision and growing our brand, growing our business that we forget. We forget about what's important, like our loved ones, right? Sometimes we want to avoid them feeling neglected. So if you're considering venturing into entrepreneurship, this is definitely something you want to consider and something you want to avoid, right? So having a plan in place on these are the things I'm going to do to ensure my family and my friends do not feel neglected. And neglected, my bad. And that's something I didn't even touch on. Relationship with friends, please. Like I said, I'm not trying to spend money to go out. I don't want to. Get someone else to do it. It's an audio, right? On TikTok where they're like, I don't want to do it. All right, I'm going to do it. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend time. I don't want to spend energy. Because, going out with you, yes, it's going to strengthen our friendship or our relationship, but it's also going to take away from something else. And one of the voices in my head has been telling me lately, like, that mindset is a mindset of lack and a mindset of scarcity, as if you're going to run out. You are not going to run out of energy. You are not going to run out of money. You are not going to run out of time. Okay, that one, I don't know. That's up for debate. But, like, what are we doing? That's scarcity. It's a scarcity mindset. And so I'm working on transitioning that. So like I've been saying affirmations lately about like wealth and finances and money and things like that. But friend relationships is a whole different ballgame. And that's not my focus right now. So fortunately, I have some adult friends, some grown friends, some busy friends that understand like Krystal might not be on the scene. And my friends see me work. So they know like, I might not be able to make it, y'all. And I do anticipate if I need to have more conversations with friends, I'll have those conversations. But I don't know. Who's winning? Who's winning for you? Relationship or entrepreneurship? Fortunately for me, my relationships are winning. Like I said, I've been making more time to come down and cuddle up with honey. I've been making more time to do all of the things that I've committed to for my son on a nightly basis. And it's just about being intentional. It's about being intentional and prioritizing, right? Like relationship with my son, priority number one. Because he's not going to get these years back in his adolescence. And it's imperative. Like the decisions that I make impact him so much. Like I cannot afford, to drop the ball on that. My relationship with my honey, number 2. Right? And so this is why we already have we have our monthly date days or date nights, or I could just say our monthly dates. And that's cool. But week by week, like what are we doing? Right? What am I doing to ensure that like my relationship is strong and it's okay and it's healthy? So even though he'll say like he's not neglected, it's still not my intention to neglect him. Whether or not he feels that or not, it's not my intention. So that's something that I'm, that I'm making sure I'm aware of at all times. So, yeah. This one, like I said, Krystal, this is Kickin It With Krystal. So we kicking it, relaxing and maxing out. No, I'm just kidding. That ain't even the lyrics. I just whatever. I was, or whatever Will Smith said, Nah, but this was Kickin It With Krystal. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for hearing me out. I know I'm not the only one. So if you are an entrepreneur and you have felt any of what I said, please let me know in the chat, because shared experience, right? Like support. What are we doing to support each other, right? In community. And I'm here for that. I'm here to share my experiences, to support y'all on y'all's journey while y'all support me on my journey. And I'm excited. I'm excited for where we're going, especially now that I am more aware of, of what was happening. Aware that entrepreneurship got one up on me. I was like, nah, son, that's not what we doing. I can't get rid of it because it happened, but you ain't gonna get no other points. I bet you that, you know? So if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and share with a friend. Send it to someone you know. Thank y'all for showing up. I will see you next week. And like I say today, I'll say it today like I say every week or every day. But remember, life is meant to be lived, okay? So go out there and experience it, even if you have to do it scared, okay? Today's episode, we're thinking about how it relates. Entrepreneurship can be scary. It's a lot. It's a leap. But you can do it because you can do hard things, as Maddie James loves to say. I love that she said that, and I'm sure she's not the only one or the first person, but shout out to her. This episode was brought to you by our manifestation crystal tumblers from House of Divinity. We have the largest selection of manifestation crystal tumblers. So whatever you may need, whatever you desire to manifest, we have it for you. Love, joy, abundance, money. Get you a crystal tumbler to make all your dreams come true. And I'm not trying to give fairy godmother of Cinderella, but go ahead and check them out. 3 simple steps to get the healing you deserve and the healing you need in your life. Fill it with water. The crystals activate the water, charge the water, raise its vibration. Drink the water. Our bodies are made of 70% water. So the water in our bodies matches the water in the tumbler that has been elevated already. And so when you drink it, your body matches the vibration of the water. And because these crystals give off different healing benefits, those benefits are inside of you. So you get those benefits as well. And one thing I like to do to boost my benefits is I speak affirmations into my water. You charge your water. You speak the affirmations, right? You're holding it, you're speaking. You're programming the water. And then you allow it to sit for like 20 to 30 minutes and drink the water. And you are what you said you are. Ashe, ashe, ashe. I hope to see y'all on the next episode. I hope to hear you, or I hope you hear me on my next episode. This episode was really great for me. As you can see, I don't really want to leave, but I gotta go right now. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the House of Divinity Podcast, where we have divine discussions for the gods and goddesses that are looking to raise their vibration, activate and align their chakras, and really just tap in and be their most divine goddess self. So before you go, I want you to go ahead and check out our e-commerce store where you can shop custom crystal jewelry, crystal home and beauty, healing essentials. Go ahead, if you're in the LA area and you want to come to one of our healing events, click the website below, House of Divinity by KTG.com. Check out some of our events. Check out, some of the merch, which should be available really, really soon. But go ahead and really just look around. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see y'all later. Bye.